Hi guys, and welcome back to Tech Tuesday. As always, I'm Misha, the technical manager of Top Touch Solar Racing. In the previous episode, we talked about all of the intricacies arise when racing in Australia. And today we'll go back to more the technical part of building a solar car. We're going to learn about how we use the software and how our strategy model works. To explain how the software works, I've got with me Vlad. Welcome to the show.
Hi Misha, thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite good, thanks.
So I was hoping you could give us a little bit of an insight as to what a software engineer actually does in a project of ours. Could you first start by explaining what software is?
Yes, definitely. Well, you could say that software programs are actually a piece of code that we write in a certain language. For example, for us it's C. It's like a set of instructions that tells an electronic device how it should work.
So then you're basically programming all of the electronic devices with the software.
Yeah, exactly. So you could think that software is in everything. Computers, phone, tablets, and even in our toasty back in the kitchen.
I did not know that. And in our case, what types of electronics do we need to program for the car?
Well, we have to program almost all the electronics in the car at some level. Some require more functions, like the steering wheel, while others are a lot simpler, like the cooling system for the motor controller.
So let's take that steering wheel as an example. What are the things you need to take into account when programming something like that?
Well, when you're driving the solar car, the steering wheel has a screen that displays information for the driver. It also has a bunch of buttons on it. So the screen shows information such as the battery level, speed, and possible errors. The way in which this information is displayed for the driver is actually our job. Also, we have to make sure that every button reacts properly when pressed.
How would you make sure of this?
Well, let's say you want to turn on the front lights. We have to write a piece of code that sends the signal to the right chip so that the front lights actually turn on.
That's so cool. So to summarize, you basically give orders to all of the electronics in the car so that they do their job and the whole car as a solid works.
You could say it like that, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the insights, Vlad. I have to say goodbye to you for now, because in a minute we'll have Jacob on here talking about how we obtain the data and how we actually use that in our race.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And there he is. Jacob, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Misha. Hi.
Are you ready to let us know how we obtain and use all the data from the car that we collect?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Okay, so I think it's first important to understand what different data all travels through the car.
Yeah, I'd say that's correct, yeah. Communication between components is essential for us, and to make sure that every piece sends and receives the necessary info, we use a CAN system.
A CAN system? Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, you can sort of think of the CAN system as if it were a group chat. So each friend is like an electronic component in the car. And just as you can send text to your friend in the group chat and they can respond, the components in the car can send messages to each other over the CAN system.
So in short, it's like a communication network then?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
And all these messages that go back and forth through the car system, how would you read them? How do you obtain all this information?
Well, for us to get all the proper data, we have to connect a piece of hardware that will analyze all the info, and then by means of a network and an antenna that is installed in the solar car, we make sure that we receive everything we need.
And you, as a strategist, are then receiving all this information back in a chase car, the car behind the solar car.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
What do you do with all this information?
So during the entire project we work on a strategy model that takes into account every possible variable. And the data that the car collects is part of these variables, along with weather data and other key information. So when we have everything in place, we plug all these numbers into our piece of code, such that we can determine the perfect speed at which the car has to drive.
And in the end, it's all about balancing these variables.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm super curious to see how our strategy model works out.
Yeah, me too, yeah. We'll make sure that everything works as smooth as possible, yeah.
Talking about things running smoothly, do you want to know how we guarantee that all of the events, trips and media works out in our team?
Yeah, can't wait.
In that case, please stay tuned to the next episode of Tech Tuesday. We'll talk about all of the events, the logistics and the media that go along with a project like this. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, solar car fan. Thanks for watching episode 7 of Tech Tuesday. If you want to see more cool content like this, please subscribe to our channel and leave a like to this video. See you in the next one.